In preparing for the great waves and in preparing for the greater community, you are preparing for your true purpose and greater mission in life. These are not merely inconveniences. These are the opportunities that you have been waiting for. For under normal circumstances, you will never find your greater purpose and mission in life. Something extraordinary must happen to call them forth from you, to create a situation where they will be needed and called for. You cannot initiate yourself here. There must be greater forces at work, both on the physical plane and in the spiritual reality as well. So it is no accident that you have been confronted with the reality of the great waves of change, while others remain indifferent or ignorant regarding this. It is no accident that you have come to find this small part of the new message for humanity, for it was arranged to be this way. You have come here as an act of destiny. This is a time of destiny. People may look upon the great waves with horror or with denial, with all kinds of human reactions. They cannot see that what they are really facing is the one thing that will redeem them and give them a greater life, a greater purpose and a greater contribution. It can take a long time to wait for the great events to call forth this greater purpose from you, and in the interim you will be attracted to establish your own purposes, to give yourself your own greater purpose, to give yourself to things that please you or excite you or inspire you. In the interim, you may become married. You may have a family. You may fill your life with people, responsibilities, obligations and so forth. But when the great opportunity comes, it is still your time of calling. If your life is encumbered, if you are being held back by people, responsibilities and obligations, then it is more difficult to respond. But the timing and the response are still fundamental. It is no accident that you are now called to learn about life in the greater community, to be amongst the few who can receive this revelation. You did not simply stumble upon it by accident. There is a purpose behind this, you see. This represents the great mystery of your life, that while you live your life at the surface, there are deeper forces at work beneath that surface. At the surface, life looks chaotic and unpredictable. It looks mundane. There is nothing really extraordinary about it. It is full of stimulation, some of which gives pleasure and much of which gives pain. But deeper down, there are deeper currents moving your life, moving you into proximity to learn something, to see something, to respond to something both within yourself and within the world at large. It is like the ocean, which is turbulent at the surface, swept by the winds of the world, moved by trivial forces. But at its depths, the ocean is being governed by greater forces, by planetary forces, by immense and mysterious forces that are moving water from one part of the earth to another. Your life is like that. At the surface, it is calm, it is turbulent, it changes from day to day, but it gives no real indication of its real movement and real purpose. From the surface of the ocean, how can you determine what the great movement of the waters really is? You cannot. You would need to have a greater wisdom, a greater insight and knowledge here to really comprehend the fact that the water of the earth is moving in a conveyor-like manner from one part of the globe to another, something you could not see or understand from the surface. Your life has greater forces within you, forces that are stimulated by powers within the world and beyond the world, within the physical reality and beyond the physical reality. You have a purpose here, and it is related to the time in which you live and the events to come. If everyone left it up to themselves to design a higher purpose, you would have a world full of musicians, poets, gardeners, therapists and so forth. It would be extremely passive. It would not be vital at all. It would not have any meaning. So your greater purpose is really beyond these things. It is only the rare and exceptional person who is destined to become a great artist or musician, or a great athlete or an expert in a particular field. And these things are revealed to them as they go along. But for most people, the mystery remains, and from the surface of their lives, they cannot discern its meaning, its purpose or its direction. You view yourself as a weak person, trying to survive, trying to be happy, trying to have good things and avoid bad things, trying to have relief, trying to have pleasures, trying to have opportunities. But at a deeper level, you were sent here on a mission, and nothing will satisfy that mission except the mission itself. And what will stimulate that mission within you are great events in the world and the needs of others that call it forth from you. They generate the initiation. The need will grow in the world. The human family will come under greater duress. The calling will sound forth for many people to awaken from their sleep and their dreams of self-fulfillment called into action, and with it a deeper memory and sense of responsibility to the world. From the surface, you cannot see this. It sounds fantastic. Perhaps it sounds good to you. Perhaps it does not. But you cannot see it from the surface, for it represents the mystery of your life. Everything you do to try to be happy and to satisfy yourself, everything that you do that costs you so much in terms of time and energy and life force, cannot satisfy this deeper need, the need of the soul to discover your greater calling in life, to respond to it, to prepare for it, to be initiated into it and to serve it in the changing circumstances of your life. Precisely when and how things will take place remain part of the mystery, for there are so many things that can change the opportunities or the timing of things. That is why making predictions is counterproductive. The future is always changing and shifting, and the outcome can take many appearances. But the direction is clear. Therefore, you are not learning about the great waves of change just to try to run away somewhere and be safe. You are not having this being revealed to you simply so that you can fortify yourself. It really represents a greater calling. The different levels and kinds of service are countless. You do not yet know. You can only go towards something that calls to you, that is genuine. You must leave the definitions open. Do not come to conclusions. Do not proclaim a role or a title for yourself. That is always premature and is foolish. The great waves will show you where you must go, how you must be, whom you must meet and how you must learn to respond to life. They will show you how to mature and how to become one person with one reference point within yourself, with one great focus and orientation, instead of a diffracted personality with many voices, with many directions, with all kinds of conflicts and opposition within yourself. You will never know your deeper nature by studying your personality or your personal history. It must be revealed to you through a greater experience and a greater involvement in the world. Therefore, the correct and best approach is to put yourself in the position of being a learner, being a student, not making assumptions, not making proclamations, not living in definitions, but leaving the way open, leaving your life unexplained, allowing the mystery to call you and guide you forth. For amidst all of the changing circumstances of your life now and the great changes that are to come to the world, there is still the mystery, and the mystery is what will give you clarity and direction. This is the realm where knowledge exists. This is the realm where your spiritual family can communicate to you. This is where you can receive guidance. This is where you can do things that other people would never do, see things that people would never see, and hear things that people would never hear, things that are important for your life and for the well-being of others. Therefore, as you proceed, you must take time for stillness and inner listening. Stillness is learning how to still the mind and to focus the mind so that you can see beyond your thoughts and hear beyond your thoughts, hear what is there, see what is there, and develop the ability to become objective and look with clarity, without preference or fear. For most people, this skill is beyond their reach. But you must cultivate it. You cultivate it by carrying out important tasks, and you cultivate it by building a connection to knowledge within yourself. In taking the steps to knowledge, you learn how to still the mind, how to listen within yourself, and how to discern the voice and the movement of knowledge from all the other voices in your mind, the voice of your parents, the voice of your teachers, the voice of your culture, the voice of your friends, the voice of your fear, the voice of your desire, the voice of your self-doubt, the voice of your self-criticism, all these other voices that reside within you. And then there is knowledge. The only way you can have confidence that what you're hearing and feeling is true is by building this connection and learning to discern the presence of knowledge and the movement of knowledge from all the other compulsions, all the other fantasies and ideas in your mind. Steps to knowledge will teach you how to do this, and it will give you a great advantage. Because you are entering very uncertain times, it is important that you learn to live without self-definitions, without trying to control events, and without trying to live in conclusions. Here it will be necessary to live with the questions, the problems for which you do not have a solution, and situations where you will have to work with a problem to learn how to resolve it, to learn how to meet its needs, and so forth. You will have to leave part of your life open and mysterious. The people who cannot do this will not fare well in the face of the great waves of change. They will not see, they will not know, and they will not prepare. When change comes upon them, they will panic and be enraged and terrified. If you are going to enter uncertain times, you must have this opening within yourself, this ability to listen, not for answers or explanations, but to listen, to cultivate the ability to be inward directed, so when the moment comes when knowledge must speak to you, you will be able to respond, and you will be able to feel the movement of that message moving you. You practice stillness not to get anything, but to learn to be still. You learn to be still so that you can feel and listen. You listen to develop the ability to listen so that when you are out in life, knowledge within you can speak to you, guide you, and hold you back when that is necessary. You will be dealing with very difficult circumstances and seeing great tribulation in the world as time goes on. How will you maintain your bearings? How will you keep yourself from entering into fear and panic, dread and apprehension? How will you prevent yourself from falling prey to the admonitions and the condemnations of others, which will arise all around you? How will you keep yourself from losing heart, from giving up, from feeling hopeless and defeated? When the rain is falling and the thunder is clashing, how will you be able to maintain clarity of mind and purpose? These are all important questions for you now. They require a deeper connection to knowledge and an openness about your life and about the future. You do not know what is going to happen. You do not know how it is going to turn out. You do not know necessarily who will do well and who will not. You cannot predict it, for you are entering times of great change and uncertainty. How will you know? You will have to be open and listen. That is why the recommendations for living in a great waves world are really only beginning guidelines, because everyone's circumstances will be somewhat different, and everyone has a unique mission and purpose in life to discover and to fulfill. So beyond establishing initial steps and building a basic foundation, you will have to rely upon knowledge within yourself and knowledge within others to navigate the changing and uncertain times ahead. What you are being given here is essential for your success. This is planting seeds of knowledge and wisdom in you, but you must prepare. You must learn the way of knowledge. You must study the great waves. You must reevaluate your life, your relationships, your activities, your obligations and everything, and carry out the deep evaluation. You will have to be strong when others are weak. You will have to have faith when others have no faith. You will have to be compassionate in the face of tragedy. You cannot lose yourself now. Before, being true to yourself was an advantage, but not a necessity. Here it will be both. You must learn to look without preference and without fear, with a clear mind, and have this inner strength.